Connecting. Hunter ID confirmed.
Good morning, Lincoln, and hello, hunters. This is Lad's Latest, your briefing hub for Love and Deepspace.
Good morning, hunters, and happy reset day. I hope that you all had a wonderful weekend. I know that I certainly did. I'm Mira, your Hunter Morale Officer here at Lincoln HQ, and I'm clocking back in with a cup of coffee and a stack of weekend updates. So, grab a seat, get comfortable, and let's go through the weekend recap, where we go over everything that happened over the weekend that you may have missed. Of course, we're starting with our dates and reminders, starting with the redeem codes, which are still available to put into the game. Make sure that you do that before January 20th. I would really hate for you to miss out on free diamonds. And then we have the following, which all ends on January 21st. We have Throne of Eros, Poetic Figures, Illusia Locus, the Anniversary Offer, Hearts Archive, and starting today, we do have Hearts Compass as well. So if you want to pull and get those guaranteed 5 stars from the X-Space Echo, you're welcome to do that now. I'm doing it just because it's free guaranteed myth ones. So I'll be pulling on it for sure. But all of those end on January 21st. We did get some news over the weekend. New kitty card badges will be available January 19th and go until February 9th. The Garden Collection is also coming with extra Meowco drops as well. I think these look super adorable. I'm always super excited for new kitty badges because that means more affinity. There will also be a rerun starting February 1st and going through March 1st. The Autumn Paw collection is coming back, so if you've missed that, you'll have the ability to get that one as well. And lastly, some new backgrounds are available. I'm always really excited when I see new backgrounds because I am always changing my computer background and my phone background. The 4-star art from the anniversary are available, as well as the time lock key backgrounds as well. I'm really glad, if anything, like I can understand the 4-star art, but I'm really glad that they do the time lock key ones. I mean, I would hate for them to be sort of put to the background because it's like the myth art. I absolutely love it. I think it's so gorgeous. So I'm really glad that they're available now for download. And I know it's been a while since we've seen the schedule, so here it is. And the reason I'm bringing this back is because not at the end of this month, or not at the end of this week, sorry, but at the beginning of next week, we should be getting an announcement. I suspect somewhere between the 18th and the 20th, probably closer to the 19th or the 20th, depending on when they decide to drop it. Could be the 22nd, or it could be the 23rd. Who knows? It really depends on what they decide, which could be anybody's guess. I do suspect that Caleb's myth rerun will be showing up in the next few months because I do personally think that his new myth is going to run in March. I don't think it's going to run any later than that, but I guess it could always change. But I'm really excited to see what comes up in the next few weeks. It's going to be super exciting. New year, new set of banners. Now on to what we're really here for, which is the survey. I did complete my survey this weekend, and so I'm going to go through what I put on the survey this time. There are 2 separate surveys. They do take you through the Throne of Eros one, which ends on the 21st, and then the one after that is a more permanent one. Now, there wasn't much for the permanent one. It was more of a satisfied through dissatisfied selection. There was a part at the end where I put my normal stuff that I normally put on every survey. But there wasn't much in the line of suggestions or anything like that for the permanent one. So most of these are going to be covered in the first one that pops up, which is the Throne of Eros one. If you have any questions about where the survey can be found, it can be found on the home screen with the little pen and paper at the top of the screen. You can click on that and it'll take you straight to the page. You do get an Imperium wish each time you complete a survey as well. Now, I'm going to be completely upfront with you guys before we get started. I actually had a very hard time coming up with any cons for this update. I am actually pleasantly surprised by a lot of what was accomplished. There was a lot of quality of life items that were put in. There were a lot of items that were done very well. So while I try to make it even of pros and cons that I add in, I had to really dig deep for some cons. Now, there were some things that I thought might add to the events and stuff like that, but cons, not a whole lot. I did have a lot of pros, and I wanted to make sure, of course, as always, I want to add in the good with the bad, because I really think that they need to know both sides of it. So I, of course, always add in both pros and cons. So the first question is Throne of Eros. The pros that I had, the quality was incredible. I absolutely have no complaints over anything. The cutscenes, the kindled moments were done extremely well. I'm still really pleased that they're messing around with camera angles and stuff like that. I've been so impressed by all of the kindleds. At this point in time, I've only gone through Silas and Xavier's, but I've seen some people go through the other ones, and I'm so thoroughly impressed. The music was absolutely incredible. The one I can mostly think about is Silas's. There was a swell in the music at one point, and I think I got goosebumps. The stories I thought were really, really incredible. Really, really in depth. And so I thought the quality overall of the experience of the cards was just incredible. And I really, really actually like, I know I say really, really a lot. The idea of them saving AUs for special occasions. I know people want more AUs more often, and I can see why you would want that. But for me, it makes it feel a little more special when they save it. So far, we've only had 2 AUs. We've had TC22 and we have Throne of Eros. And the fact that they were both done towards the beginning of the year, sort of as this new thing, I kind of like it because it makes them feel a little more special. And I like the idea of these AUs with how much time and effort goes into them. They sort of are treated more as this special event rather than just throwing them at us all the time. Now, that may change over time depending on how we feel about what goes on in the story and whatnot. But for now, I kind of like that they're saving the AUs for like once a year. Things that I might have added to make it a little bit better. I was really hoping for that second kindled. I was really hoping for this second kindled. Especially for the AUs, if they're going to spend so much time on the events and the kindleds and the stories and the animation and the music and stuff like that, just put in the second kindled already. This one would have been perfect for the second kindled. I would have loved it. So that's just, I'm going to continue to say that until they do it. The other thing that felt kind of lackluster was the second ending compared to TC22. I really enjoyed the idea that there were 2 separate endings from TC22, and they kind of went in depth, not just with the ending, but with the kindled as well and how it ended. And this one kind of felt just rushed. I like the idea, and again, that would have been an opportunity for them to put in a second kindled. They didn't have to, they could have kept it the way it was, just added in a second kindled where it just was a little bit different. But it just felt kind of lackluster to me. So it felt like they had to do it, or that they felt like they had to do it because of TC22. And really, I would have been okay with them just not having that second option if it was the way it was. But that's just a personal feeling about that. Also, I did hear people say that this would have been the perfect banner for all the allies to refer to each other, and I actually agree with that. They all came from different factions. They all came from different areas. They all represented something different. So it would have been really cool if they referred to each other. Maybe not necessarily mean, but just the idea of them referring to each other would have been kind of a neat idea. And then the one biggest con that I have, particularly with the cards right now, Infold. You really need to fix the text speed issue. It didn't happen in the story. It didn't happen in the story. I actually kept an eye on the story because I was afraid it was going to happen. And this particular issue did not happen in the story. It's just happening in the cards, and it needs to be addressed. It's one of my biggest complaints right now is not just in the Kindled, but them pushing the text forward automatically in just the regular conversation is starting to drive me crazy. It takes me out of the immersion. It takes me out of being able to comprehend what is being said, to take the time to talk to my chat. Now, this might be like just a streamer issue, but I want to talk and digest and understand what's going on without having to stop and read it all the time. So this is my biggest complaint, and it really, really needs to be fixed. So please, Infold, fix this issue in the cards. Please, I'm begging. I'm actually begging, please. One thing they asked, and I believe they asked this for us in TC22 as well, or at some point last year, they asked us for future themes. I don't necessarily think it's because they're running out of themes. I think it's just they're inquiring about what kind of themes maybe the general public is looking at, maybe find some that are being asked for repeatedly. But some of them that I put, more gothic, maybe not so much like Silas's where Silver Wings Rest, but something akin to that would be really neat. Maybe like a Phantom of the Opera sort of gothic theme. A Halloween theme would be very, very cute. I thought an Alice in Wonderland might be kind of cute, or storybook, or fairies. I don't know how fairies would happen, but something more whimsical would be super fun, I think. I know a lot of people have been asking for Masquerade. I guess you can argue that the event sort of did the Masquerade thing, but something a little more Masquerade-y would be kind of cute. High fantasy would be so fun. See, one of the guys is like an elf or something like that would be adorable. Steampunk, ancient Chinese. I know a lot of people have been asking for that ancient China feel. Angels, MLQC did an Angels one that I thought would be kind of fun. More holiday and Christmas ones. They don't really touch on holiday ones too often, or they don't make specific holiday ones other than like for the Lunar New Year. But I'd like to see more holidays, not necessarily Western holidays, but just holidays in general. Maybe a cyber, I hesitated to put cyberpunk, but a cyber-esque one would be kind of neat. More maybe like a dystopian future would be kind of cool. I guess you can argue again that Caleb's myth is like cyber-esque, but more like maybe grungy cyber. I know this isn't for multis, but cute dates for solos. I want more cute dates for solos. Bath time with Raphael, hiking with Caleb, ice skating with Zane. I know my community has been asking for that a lot. And also more stuff with the Deep Space Tunnel, like Heartbeats Ablaze. I really, really enjoy that the Deep Space Tunnel is sort of a MacGuffin for anything that could possibly happen that's AU adjacent. Some more stuff with the Deep Space Tunnel would be super neat. I told you guys I had a really hard time coming up with cons. I hunted for anything that might have displeased me, and it was super hard to come up with. So again, I have a lot of pros for this. The next one was for the Royal Masque, which is the event minigame, and there was a lot I really enjoyed about this. First was the pacing. It was really nice to see them take what they tried to do with Evernight Mellow Ride and just refine it. It felt well paced. It didn't feel overwhelming. You weren't waiting around for a long time to get things done. There was plenty to do, but none of it really took a lot of time. So it was really nice to just enjoy the mini game without feeling like you were overwhelmed with a bunch that you had to do. So I was pleasantly surprised with that. I thought the stories were really neat. There was a little bit of drama. They weren't all just happy-go-lucky. Xavier's in particular really felt very dramatic, going with the Hamlet sort of feel of it. So I really enjoyed that they sort of put drama and it wasn't all just happy-go-lucky. The dance portion was adorable and very easy. It didn't feel overwhelming when you had to click on the buttons, but it was also nice that the later stages felt a little more difficult to get 3 stars. Most times I don't really have any difficulty getting any of the 3 stars, but this time it did take a little bit of time for me to get the 3 stars that I needed, and I almost didn't get 3 stars on some of them. I also liked how responsive it was. It didn't feel laggy. It didn't feel hard to move. They felt really fluid. So the dance portion of it, I enjoyed a lot. Also, I did thank them for bringing back the Scratcher game from the Fondness Treasure last year. I enjoyed the Fondness Treasure. I thought it was super cute, but it was nice to see that it was brought back in a way that people didn't have to pay for, where everyone could kind of enjoy it. So I'd like to see this more in the future. I think it's a welcome little mini game, sort of fun thing to do, but that they should keep it like this in the mini games, just to add a little bit of extra something without it feeling too much like pressure. And the rewards that were offered, which were stickers and some background musics, I think was a good use of it. The idea and concept behind the Royal Walk was new and really fun to experience. I like that they did have different endings there and different completion rates where you could get different items from each of the boys. The little stories and conversations were absolutely adorable. And it was just kind of neat to have different places to go to. It functioned really, really nice. So I'd like to see this concept in the future as well, maybe redefined a little bit. But I do think that the UI for it and everything like that was something new and innovative, and I hope to see it in the future. And speaking of pacing, I liked the countdown. It might be because I personally am doing the minigame videos, but it's nice to see how long we have to do the minigame. Not only that, but the idea of it sort of having something at the end that's kind of big, something to look forward to, even if you complete it early, is nice to have. It's nice to see, and it makes it sort of more exciting, I guess, of something that's waiting for you at the end. And for me personally, it felt less rushed as well. So I don't think that's something that could happen all the time, but having the countdown, maybe particularly for the mini games for the multi-banners, might be kind of fun. I don't know how you do it. Particularly this one, might be a special case because of the coronation, but I liked the countdown. The only con that I have, and I don't really think it's a con, I can do with or without the picture wall. It's not something I care to interact with. I will, because I am a completionist and I want to get that for their rooms, which I hardly interact with anyways too. But I could take or leave the picture wall. That's just a personal con for me. Now, let me know down in the comments if you guys did have particular cons with the royal mask. I would be interested in hearing them. It would also be really cool to see what you put, maybe that people didn't think of. But I had no issues with royal mask. I think it's probably up there with touring and Lev. There was nothing that could have been fixed with this one. It was done perfectly, in my opinion. Then they moved on to the housing system. No, I'm really glad that they put in a specific area for frustrations that you may have, or inconveniences that you may have with the housing, because it made me kind of sit and think about what I wanted to add here. Because again, I always try to make sure that I do have some improvements available, just so I'm not only praising them. I want to make sure that I'm giving both. And I only had a few complaints or inconveniences. I guess they're more inconveniences for me. The biggest one is that sometimes I feel still a little too close to MC. I feel the constraints of the walls when on the camera mode or in camera or just moving around the house. And it would be really nice to have the ability to move out even further, or maybe not be constrained by the walls while moving around, because it still feels a little cramped for me. I really want them to cuddle in front of the fireplace. It feels so disconnected right now. They like sit, chat, and then just kind of sit there awkwardly. And I just really want them to cuddle. So that's another frustration that I have whenever I see it happen. I'm like, just lay with each other or something. I don't know. Anyway, I really want to see more interactions in the future between MC and the LIs, whether that's on the couch or standing or whatever in the bed. I don't care. But I do hope that in the future they will have planned some more interactions aside from the hugging and the kissing and stuff like that. And then I think it would be super neat to see more of Lincoln in the future in this function. Now, I don't mean like run down the street like The Sims or whatever, but maybe have a different screen where you go to the LI's house, or maybe go to the cafe, or go to the park or something. Just different areas of Lincoln would be super neat. Or even eventually adding like Skyhaven, so you can go to Caleb's house in Skyhaven, walk around Skyhaven for a little while. But I'm hoping that that's something that they plan on doing in the future as well. For the pros, I actually equally had a hard time for the home system coming up with pros. Not because I didn't have any, but honestly, I have just enjoyed the function overall. And it seems to be the same sentiment through the whole greater community. It seems that everyone's just having a lot of fun with the function. I haven't heard a lot of complaints. Everything feels very smooth, very snappy. Everything that I've functioned with, I haven't run into any bugs. I haven't decorated much, but the amount of decorating I've done feels very nice. It doesn't feel bad at all. All of the interactions with the boys have been really nice. They each feel very unique to each of the boys. So I've been really happy with the system. I had a hard time. Now, will I come up with complaints later? Possibly. Or things that I want to see in it in later times? Absolutely. I'll probably end up adding a home section into my extras that I do on every survey. But right now, everything feels very nice. I did also make sure to thank them. While they didn't outwardly say they were fixing the problem. The one problem that I did have, which was the boys not swapping out of the house, was responded to quickly. They fixed the issue, and within, I think, a few days, actually, if not, I think about a week. But either way, the problem got fixed and addressed really quickly. And I made sure to thank them for that, because sometimes Infold is a little late to the game. I'm not going to deny that. Sometimes they're late to the game and fixing issues. And with this one in particular, they were really quick to do it. So I was really grateful for that. But those are the two pros that I had. And honestly, they were more of a catch-all for everything, because I just like the function as a whole, and it all feels very good. So that's what I had. They did ask about the Hearts archive. And again, with this function, I really didn't have a lot to say about it, at least constructively. I think it's a cute idea. I enjoy seeing it once a year. There's nothing in particular that I want to see or don't want to see. I just really enjoyed seeing kind of my different interactions in the game. I didn't really share it with anybody. Kind of. I'll let you guys know some of the stuff during a stream one time, but the only issue, I don't even want to call it an issue, the only thing that was kind of weird was that they did add like the fashion accessories that you use the most. And I wish they wouldn't have included MC's stuff, because my MC always wears the tortoiseshell glasses. And so literally all of mine had the tortoiseshell glasses. So I think it would have been cute to see something more along the lines of like maybe how they dressed in the cafe, or maybe the most used item that they used in the cafe or wore in the Destiny cafe would have been more effective in that, because it would have been kind of cute to see that. But really it's just kind of a nice function, nice to look at once a year. I could take it or leave it, but I do enjoy seeing kind of what I went through during the year with the boys. That's really all I have to say about it. I'd be interested in hearing what you guys have to say about Hearts Archive. But it's for me, it's sort of just a function that's there. Nice to have. It's like the recaps for YouTube and stuff like that. It's cool to see. But I don't really have any real attachment to it, I guess. Finally, they did ask about overall experience of this update. And I had a few for each of the sections. For the pros, overall, I was pleasantly surprised by the quality of the latest update. If I'm completely honest, I was very, very happy with this update. Some notable features that were welcome. The quick cleanup, I did use it myself, and I felt that it was the greatest quality of life item they could have added with this recent update, especially with how many people have been complaining about the size of the game. Now, I do still think the size of the game is an issue and does need to be addressed properly. But adding in a quick cleanup does make it easier. I used it myself. I really liked it. I thought it worked exactly as intended. So I'm glad that they put this in the game. The home feature, again, just I enjoyed it. The greater of the community enjoys it. So I have no complaints with the home system or the home feature. The quality of the event and the stories was really good, along with the quality of the art direction of the cards and the music. All of it was done so well. I'm really happy with the way the cards turned out this time, and the event, the minigame. Also, I'm glad that they're starting to voice a lot of the lines in the Destiny Cafe. A lot of the lines that were not voiced are now getting voiced. A lot of the when you change his outfit, a lot of those are starting to get voiced. And they are coming out with a lot of different responses as well as time goes on. So it's nice that we could possibly be getting different voice lines in the future, particularly when the guys are in the Destiny Cafe as well. That's one thing that I put in my extras, is that I would really love to see them rotate more responses or more sayings in the Destiny Cafe. So it looks like they're starting to work on that. Also, they didn't ask about Lemonette's Trove. I'm really surprised. But I did make sure to add in that Lemonette's Trove is amazing, and I hope to see it continued improvement. It's continued improvement and continued additions from previous events. I really hope that they put something in there that I missed. Eventually, if they put the beta ring in there, I'm hoping that they'll put in the other item that I'm missing. Some of the cons that I have, again, the biggest complaint and issue that I have, and particularly it was very noticeable with these cards, is the speed of the text. Not just in the Kindle now. It is extending into the card itself, and hate that they are pushing, or that it's pushing text forward in just conversation and making it go way too fast. Even if I wasn't reading it out loud or narrating the card, I'm kind of a slow reader anyways, so it would still be a problem for me. So that really needs to be addressed. I did check to see if this was an issue in the main story. I was actually particularly watching in the main story if this was an issue. And it's not an issue in the main story. It's only in the cards that they have this issue. So it really needs to be addressed. I'm biggest complaint, biggest issue, biggest gripe. I will continue to be loud about this one because it's annoying for all involved. One thing that I heard a lot of this time around, is the localization needs some work. While I'm not personally too familiar with the different localizations and how they sound, and I sort of am someone who just kind of takes the English the English dubbed as it comes. I know that there was a lot of issues with it this time, so I do believe that from the sounds of it, it could use a little bit of refining. I think I'm putting that kind of lightly, and I will admittedly say that might be a little light on my end. Again, it might be because I'm less familiar with the different localizations, but it does sound like they need to work a little bit more on the localizations in the cards. So I did make sure to add that because I do think that could ruin an experience for some people. Also, one of the biggest complaints I have is that I really wish they would have added some of the items that were in the Lunar Shop, maybe in the Chocolate Shop, or just added something in the Chocolate Shop in general for this update. The poor little neglected Chocolate Shop needs to have added items. And I have more that I have added for the Chocolate Shop in my extras. But this is kind of my overall experience of the update in general. I'd be really interested in hearing what you guys also have to say about your overall experience with this update as well. And then I have my extras. The things I add at the end of every survey that I will continue to add until they fix these suggestions. I'm not going to repeat or go into depth too much with all of them. If you are interested in any of these or would like to snag any of these, I do have the Google Doc down in the description, so you guys are welcome to take a look at that. Snag anything. Also, I'm very open to any suggestions that you might have that I might want to add to this in the future down in the comments, so feel free to let me know what you think and or how you feel, or some things that you'd like to add to the game. I have a few different sections: battle, schedule, love interests, memories, and etc. And they're really not meant to be taken seriously. They're more just improvements I'd like to see in the game eventually. For battle, most of them are for like Abyssal Chaos and Tonakali. I really hate that those systems are kind of forgotten, especially with the cap being met for these. So instead of adding new campaigns, although new campaigns would always be welcome, I wish they just reset the cap and the rewards every 4 to 6 months and swap out Finding Tobias and Final Farewell and keep those capped as well. Just to make them fresh and still want to be used. Because right now, I don't think anybody other than new people or people who haven't completed everything are using them. I haven't even touched them in a while. After I completed the challenge mode for Abyssal, I haven't touched it. New bounty hunts or new wanderers like Lemonette and stuff like that. New bounty hunt levels past 9. I'm still rooting for dungeons. Give me dungeons. Let me run around the N109 zone or Mount Eternal, or Protocores, or Protofields, anything like that. But dungeons, they need to add more no-hunt zone levels. Increase rewards for the orbital trials, just the regular ones, not the fluctuations. I do know that we have the fluctuations now, so maybe I could take or leave the increase of diamonds of the regular orbital trials. But I do believe that the orbital trials do need to have more diamonds the higher you go, especially with how hard it should be. Sparring with the guys, against the guys, not with the guys, against them. I would love. Xavier gave us a possibility to do that with the ring in the one card. So it's possible. So let me spar against the guys. Let me fist fight against Silas. More in-depth battles where we get to see the guys be specifically used for like specific wanderers, like Xavier's weak against the Luminivores, because they are drawn to the light. So more weaknesses would be kind of cool. Also, more senior hunter level levels and progression would be nice to have as well. Maybe a fourth one. I don't know how they would do that, but more levels for senior hunters contest would be nice. For the schedule, main story needs to be released more often. This last 7-month stint was even too long for me, and I'm a pretty patient person. I think 4 months is pretty acceptable. I'm okay with 6 months, but that's just me personally. I know a lot of people think 4 months. So I think a release of main story every 4 months would be acceptable. Also, a rough schedule at the end of the month really wouldn't hurt. Again, this is something that I can take or leave. I don't really care. I like the surprise kind of, but I understand why people want the monthly schedule on what kind of banners might be available or who might be featured. I think people mostly want it just so that they know whether it's going to be a solo or a myth or multi. So I think a rough schedule can't hurt, and I wish that they would. I wish that they would do this. So I'm going to continue to put it in until they consistently give us a rough schedule at the end of every month. Some love interest suggestions. These are literally just fun ideas that I want in the Destiny Cafe. Again, not to be taken seriously. Let me sit with him in the chair. I will beg and beg until you guys let me sit in the chair with him. Even if it's first person, just let me sit in the chair. Give us more environments outside of the cafe. And put weather in. Weather would be kind of cool. So like you can't go to the park if it's raining outside, but you can go to like Silas's house or something. But going to a different environment outside of the cafe, as much as I love the cafe, I just would love to see different environments in my background. Now, whether you can swap them out or not is a whole other issue. but I just really like to see something different. Having the ability to post pictures on moments and have the guys respond to them. Also, in return, having MC just post more moments in general. They've been having her do it a lot more with the housing feature, and I do appreciate that, but I just want MC to post just a little bit more. And rotating the love interest, saying every few months or something. But again, I think I've already addressed that, where they are starting to voice a lot more lines. So I don't think having them say different things is too far out of the realm of possibility. Some updates for the memories. A rewind function would be gratefully appreciated. Please put a rewind function in. That would be super helpful. Especially if you're gonna make the lines go so fast, please. I'd love a rewind function. Again, my biggest complaint is the speed of the text in the cards. That's been in 3 different sections now. I'm gonna continue to put that in because biggest complaint. The kindled moments, having a second one, also a thing that I'm going to continue to do. One thing that was suggested is adding smaller cutscenes, maybe 10 seconds or less, in the story, instead of having just 2 kindleds for each, or 1 kindled for each guy. It would have been really cool if the main story had a few more cutscenes in them. Right now, they feel kind of barren, especially compared to earlier in the game. Earlier in the game, it felt like there was always a cutscene. So it would be really nice if they started adding a lot more cutscenes, even if they were just short little interactions or someone walking into the door or something like that. Not only would I think the impact of the scene would be a lot better, but it would just be nice to have those cutscenes again. Limited's Trove. I don't know why it's under memories, but it's there. Please continue to update Limited's Trove. I'd love to see different things in there. The starter outfit is one that I'm missing, and I'd love to see it in Limited's Trove because I'm sad that I missed it. But Limited's Trove is something that I'd love to continue to see updated. And I would really love to see solo outfits from the solo banners in the chocolate shop. There are several that people have been asking for, so it would be a really good way to update the chocolate shop to put in those solo outfits from the solo banners. Please, Infold, please. I need Silas's sweater and I need the apron for Raphael. And then just some etc. Voice MC in tender moments, not the secret times. The tender moments go fast. They're supposed to be done in the background, but you're only getting one side of the conversation because MC is not speaking. So either don't make it playable in the background or voice line MC. More ways to interact with friends list than just stamina. No leaderboards or anything like that, just interactions. Maybe let friends check out your house or leave cute notes or something like that. That would be super cool. Making a playlist for the secret times so that you can listen to multiple guys, not just one guy every night. I'd really love to have that function. I right now will use a playlist outside of the game to listen to secret times, but if I had a playlist inside of the game, I definitely would use that function a lot more often. More dates in the mini games. I know that's something everybody's been asking for. As much as I love kitty cards and the claw machine, I just would really love to have more mini games, or even having them swapped out maybe every 2 weeks or so with a different mini game. Would keep it fresh. Give us ways to turn in extra plushies. The kitty badges for extra materials. Right now, they just kind of go into the void. Don't really count for anything. Well, the plushies do. They get you the other colors. But once you get all the extra colors, everything just kind of goes into the void. So getting materials or rewards for that would be helpful, particularly ascension items for sure, level up items, stuff like that. Another complaint some of my girlies had, and I can agree with, is turning down or the music off during phone calls and video calls. Sometimes the music is too loud and you can't hear what they're saying. So I think turning it down while there's a phone call going on or a video call would be really appreciated. Also, PC version. Come on, it's time. It's time. It doesn't even need to be like on a console or anything. Just a PC version would be super helpful. Of course, it's not a lad's latest without my Hunter's highlights. Just so you guys are aware, because this video is already super long, this might be a quicker Hunter's highlights than I normally do. But I did make sure to get everybody in there and as many photos as I could. You guys did so well this week too. The theme was Throne of Eros. And for those of you who are new, Hunter's Highlights are for when I showcase different hunters in my community who send in photos with the theme that I picked. This week was Throne of Eros, obviously. But this is going to be kind of a quick dirty Hunter's highlights. But you guys did so well overall. I'm really impressed with everybody who sent things in. You guys did amazing. Of course, you guys always do amazing. But let's go ahead and get started. Starting with Elizabeth. I really like your journals. I love your journal cover. I think it looks really, really nice. But also, Raphael and his hand thing, like, let's be real. I do love the outfit that you chose for your MC. I know it's not the Empress one, but it almost works better. I think I like it a little bit better. But I love all these photos, Elizabeth. Thank you so much for sending them in. And then we have Kira, who sent in everything. Now, normally I would include Kira's QR codes, but because this is already a long video, I didn't include them this time. I may include them next time though, if you guys are interested. I'll go ahead and add them in. Just let me know down in the comments. Again, our color coordinated queen who has every single outfit. Also, Xavier's R1 outfit just is so good. It's so good. I noticed that that's the one that you chose to R1. And honestly, I don't blame you. It's so good. And your MC looks lovely as always. I love that you have all of the outfits. I love it so much. Thank you so much, Kira, for sending these in. I love all of your photos as always. And then we have Asil. Asil, I like that you like Rafi's eyes, because Rafi's eyes are something that like absolutely draw me in. I love Raphael's eyes so much. But I really loved your couple photo. It was so sweet. I love it so much. It's really hard to choose sometimes from the Kindleds with your photos because they're so good. But I do like the ones that you chose. They're very, very cute. Very, very good. Very, very enchanting. And of course, we all love Raphael's eyes. I love your journal too. I love all of the photos. I think all of the photos are wonderful. Particularly the close-up of Raphael's eyes. Thank you so much for Asil, and thank you for the note. I always love reading them. And then we have Deepspace. I was able to include the QR code this time just really quickly, but I love your photo. This is such a great photo. I don't know what pose you chose for your MC, but this worked out so well. I absolutely love this. And the hair on the general looks really good. I'm normally not good for, I really don't like the wolf cuts most times, but it actually looks really good on this outfit. Thank you so much, Deepspace, for sending this in. I absolutely love this pose. And then we have Sarah, who has her, I'm assuming your Holy Trinity. I think, are you, Sarah, you can correct me if you're a harem girly, but honestly, the Holy Trinity is, it's still good. I really love the poses that you have. They're really, really good. But I, in particularly, really love the Silas one. It feels just, there's so much in the there's so much in the picture that says a lot. Caleb's also does as well, but I really love Silas's. You are also a color coordinated queen. I love it so much. Thank you so much, Sarah, for sending those in. I really appreciate it. We have Montoya, who said she's bringing her hubby to work today. I love these photos. I love that you're using the long hair on Silas also. Your pictures are always so cute, Montoya. I love them so much. I love that you chose the pink hair this time too. Thank you so much for sending this in though. I really appreciate it. And then we have Lilith. I chose your Zane one in particular because I know you're a Zane girly, or a Zane main at least. But I really loved the lighting for it. It's really, really good. And I noticed that you're using the R1 for him as well, and the hair. Oh my gosh, it's just a really good photo. But I do love all of your photos. They're done also very well. So thank you so much, Lilith, for sending these in. I really appreciate it. And we have Lady, who sent in just some journals. But I love them. I think they're so cute. They're so elegant too. My favorite one in particular is the right-hand side one though. The photo with the frame, it's so sweet. And the colors match really well. I really, really like it. But I love these. Thank you so much, Lady, for sending this in. I really appreciate it. And that's our Hunter's highlights. Yeah, I told you they were going to be really, really fast. I really appreciate everybody sending them in. I always look forward to your paragraphs upon paragraphs of everyone complimenting each other. That's really why I love these Hunter's highlights, so that everybody can really take a look, show off their pictures. And I'm happy to do that, provide a platform for you guys. I really appreciate everybody sending them in. I totally forgot that this was going to be on the survey video, and the survey videos are always super long. But I did still want to include it anyways. But that is it for our Hunter's highlights. Keep an eye out for the next theme. I have to think about what that theme is going to be. But that is all I have for you guys today. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to the channel. I'd really love to see you guys around. I also have an Instagram and Blue Sky where I post nearly every day. I also stream every Tuesday at noon PST on YouTube. Tomorrow we'll be going through the next two cards, which is Raphael's and Zane's, and then we'll be going through the next portion of the story for 2 Hour Yesterday. Let me know down in the comments what you put in your survey. I'd really be interested in what you guys put into there. If you guys saw something that I didn't put in that you think I might be interested in, let me know. I'm always open to adding more things to my extras list because, of course, there's always improvements that can be had, and I'm happy to add them in. But until then, that's everything I wanted to go over today. Nothing urgent chased us out the door this time, which I'm calling a win. Thanks for tuning in, and as always, stay safe out there, hunters.